I broke off my sugar daddy's marriage because I wanted more money and his wife was getting in the way of that. And I wanted to be in her place too. This is not my story, but I'm sharing it as if it's my story. But things were really bad for me financially and I needed some financial aid. I needed some money. My friend could see that I was struggling, so she introduced me to this man, which is how I met my sugar daddy. The first time meeting this man, before he even said anything, just by looking at him, his demeanor, his aura, the way he was dressed, I was like, wow, his pockets are full. You could just tell. Things were really good. You know, in the beginning, we did what we needed to do. You know, when he wanted me, we would meet and, you know, I get my money in return. So it was just cute stuff. He was the one to call me every single time because, I mean, this man was married and I didn't want to call him while he was with his wife. I honestly didn't even care that he was married, to be honest. It was just like, I just need money from this man and that's it. I don't care if you're married, you know. But then things started to change a little bit. We started getting a little bit closer and he would just now call me like a couple of times per day, which he didn't do, because most of the times he would call me on a weekend or, you know, when it's very important, but he wouldn't call me a couple of times in one day. And we started meeting up a little bit more. He started to open up to me. He would share, you know, his personal things that he'll be going through or whatever's happening with his businesses. He would share all of that with me. And at first I didn't like it. I was just like, bro, like, I just need money. Like, why are you telling me all this? But the more he kept on telling me these things, the more I started to feel like, oh, you know, I felt seen, appreciated. I was just like, this man kind of likes me, you know, and he's trusting me with his business stories and business stuff. That means I mean something to him, so I'm gonna act like it. So it got to a point where I would now go to his marital home and his wife knew about me, for real, like. But obviously she didn't like it. She didn't like the relationship, but what could she do? Because she was also technically dependent on this man. And you know how men are sometimes. If he brings another woman to the house, then what can you do really? Nothing. I have to bring you back a little bit, you guys. Before we started getting closer with my sugar daddy, he would talk about marriage to me. He would talk about how he wanted a second wife, a young wife, which was me. But I never tolerated that because I was just like, that is uncomfortable. But then when we started getting closer, he started to talk about it more and more and more. And I was getting interested and I was just like, it wouldn't hurt. It really wouldn't hurt if I was to get married to this man, because at the end of the day, being married to him means more money for me. So I had to come up with a plan to get rid of his wife because she was going to be an obstacle. Mind you, my sugar daddy still wanted his wife, right? Like, I was just going to be a second wife. It wasn't a thing of like he wants to break things off with his wife and be with me. He just wanted two wives, me being the second. But I wasn't okay with that because I knew first wife, she's still kind of like has his heart at the end of the day, even though I am there. So I had to get rid of her, and I did just that. So I remember I used to go to sugar daddy's home. So it got to a point where I would even spend days there. Started with weekends, more days and days. So I decided to come up with a plan to use AI and create fake chats. And these fake chats were going to be fake chats of sugar daddy's wife with another man, plotting against sugar daddy and wanting to go to a sangoma to do stuff to sugar daddy, right? Guys, I'm speaking very slow because I'm also trying to remember the story, right? Because it's kind of hard to summarize people's stories. Anyways, so I had to plot that. The reason why I used even the sangoma or doing a ritual on sugar daddy is because I know how superstitious, or I knew how superstitious and how scared sugar daddy was of sangomas, anything to do with, like, you know, weird spirituality kind of stuff. Like, respectfully, guys, respectfully. But yeah, so she was like, also guys, these are not my words, okay? So I don't want to break anyone's heart talking about sangomas and say like weird stuff. Please, it's this, I'm just saying it as I got it, okay? This couple was a very old couple. Sugar daddy was very old, his wife was old. So you know how old people don't have passwords on their phones. So it was very easy for me to even pull off this plan of mine that I had. So yes, I created those chats, and on the chats, obviously it was a plan of the wife to run away with this man, but they have to take things from sugar daddy and basically just ruin his life, right? So the plan worked. Sugar daddy was very mad, and she says that the way that I showed sugar daddy these chats, it wasn't a way of trying to accuse his wife. It was a thing of I don't want to tell you this because that might ruin your marriage, but also like I have to tell you because I don't want you to, something like that. So sharp, the plan worked. Sugar daddy was very, very mad. He was angry. Mind you, the ritual, the sangoma thing that I mentioned, it was just the cherry on top. So he was pissed off. It didn't take him so long. But what happens on this day, okay, so what happened on this day should have been a warning to me, but I mean, money kind of clouded my judgment. So sugar daddy decided to hit his wife, and then he kicked her out of the house. Now kicking her out of the house obviously was part of the plan. I was happy about that, but hitting her shocked me. But I was just like, oh, you know, like whatever, what can I say? But there should have been a warning to me, because soon after that, I don't know if sugar daddy's wife went and did something, but the relationship just went downhill from there, and sugar daddy became abusive, and he brought a new girl. The same way I got into this house, the same way he brought another woman to this house, a girl that was even younger than me. He would hit me a lot, and I regretted all of that. I regretted even ruining his marriage. But yeah, that's what happened to me. We did end things up though, and I moved on with my life. I think he's still with a girl that he came with. So